have to continue to date your wife and your spouse even after you get married, right? That's not an excuse to just coexist in the home. So we work on all those things. I work with men, entrepreneurs, business owners, high level executives, family men that are looking to take back control of their life and live that life on fire. So that's really what I do. I'm also in the franchising business. I work and help other people invest in different business models in the franchising industry.
Welcome to the Gentleman Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast, where we bring to you the most successful, happy, fulfilled gentlemen from around the world who have been able to conquer themselves, their life, their marriage, and their businesses. You will be learning from four-dimensional gentlemen who have cracked the code to the science of having it all. The question is, how can married entrepreneurs with kids become gentlemen, achieve true freedom, and build a successful, happy, and fulfilled life, marriage, and business? This show will give you the answer for that. My name is Alex Ramirez, and I'm your host, and you're welcome to the Gentleman Success, Happiness, Fulfillment Talk podcast. So, man, like the first thing, like I've heard your story a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you mine. I want to start with that. Is that
Please.
Cool?
Yeah.
So, man, to not make it too long, basically, I'm Mexican. All right, that is what I want to start with. I'm Mexican, and I come from a background from generational cycles of mediocrity, drug addiction, alcoholism, and broken families. Right, like that's what I come from. Like my dad, he was a drug addict and alcoholic for the major part of his life for like 20 years. And he basically threw away the majority of his life. And then his dad did the same. And then his dad's dad did the same. And then, my dad, he has like 9 or 10 different kids. I don't even know how many anymore, with different women, all different women. So all broken families, right here and there. So yeah, mediocrity, drug addiction, alcoholism, and broken families. This is what's been going on for generations and generations. And, at some point, I started to go down the same path. At 13, I reconnected with my dad. 13 or 14, I reconnected with my dad. And he gave me some advice. He said, mijo, in Spanish, if you want to be successful, happy, and fulfilled as a chef, right? If you want to be successful, happy, and fulfilled, you have to achieve true freedom, he said.
Sure.
And then I was like, okay, I was like 13, 14. And then he said, and the way you do that is by becoming a gentleman. And a gentleman achieves his freedoms in a specific order. Physical freedom, right? Taking care of yourself, loving yourself first, right? Putting yourself first. Then emotional freedom. And that this is how he put it, right? At the time, emotional freedom is about like knowing who you are, knowing what you want, where you're going, why, mastering yourself, right? Once you have those two, once you have those two and you have the confidence and the conviction behind where you're going, the financial freedom is going to be easy. Building something is going to be easy because you believe in yourself, you love yourself, you take care of yourself. Financial freedom. And then once you have those three and you have spent 5-10 years building them, you're going to be missing one piece for like true freedom and to have it all. And it's going to be your sentimental freedom, right? Being a husband and a father, family, sentimental freedom. And don't forget to have fun. And then once you have those four, that's true freedom. And that you do that, you became a gentleman and you're going to have success, happiness, and fulfillment. He told me that when I was like 13, 14. I didn't listen to him. From 14 to 18, I got sucked into my environment, living in Mexico in a border town. I live in a border town, used to live in a border town with Mexico and the US. And there's a lot of shit here. I got sucked into my environment. And from 14 to 18, I was a drug addict and I was an alcoholic. I did all kinds of drugs just because I wanted to look cool. Or I used to say to myself that I didn't want anyone to tell me how it felt, that I wanted to experience it firsthand. That bullshit story I used to tell myself. And I went through like drug addict, alcoholism from like 14 to 18, right? Complete loser, didn't know who I was, didn't know where I was going, just like the majority of people, right? And then at 18, I got my girlfriend pregnant, man, right? And I grew up with my mom telling me a story that my mom had me at 15. So my mom told me a story growing up that if you have a kid at a young age, you're going to be a fuck up. You're not going to amount to anything great. You're going to fail and you won't do anything with your life. She told me this story. I believed it, right? She's my mom. I'm her kid. She's big. I'm small, right? She's smart. I'm stupid. So I believed it. And I was really scared, man. I didn't know what to do when we found out that had gotten my girlfriend pregnant, and we decided to go with abortion.
Okay.
And we Googled how to abort a baby and stuff, and we ended up taking pills. My wife ended up taking like 40-some pills to abort. And on Google, it said that she was going to be in pain, she was going to bleed, and that meant it had to work. So we did that, and that happened. She was in pain for a couple of nights. She bled everything out. So it worked, man. And then 1 month went by, and she got her period. So like it worked, right? And then another month went by, and she didn't get her period, and we were like, holy shit, you're pregnant again, right? So we did the same procedure again, man. She took pills, she bled, she was in pain again, and then it worked. Another month went by, we graduated from high school, and then 1 week or 2 weeks after graduating from high school, I became the father of a premature baby that was born at 5.5 months of gestation, man. And like, holy shit, like that was what changed my life. Like my daughter is here, she's healthy, man. Like you wouldn't even believe it, right? Like after everything that she went through, it was God.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to call it. And like she was at the time, it was like the worst thing that ever happened to me, but it turned out to be the best. And yeah, she was the catalyst for my growth. I'm 21. 3 years. It's been 3 years since then. I didn't even learn how to speak English 3 years ago, and look at me now doing podcasts with high level entrepreneurs all over the world, and yeah, and I'm like I've like I believe this is my purpose. I believe this is what I'm here for.
Yeah,
this is what I'm doing, man. Right?
Love it.
And that's my story. That's basically it.
It's good.
So I talk about the 4 freedoms: physical freedom, emotional freedom, sentimental freedom, financial freedom. And like I'm just gonna love this kind of talk too, because you talk about faith, family, fitness, finance, and fun, which I love.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was a weird introduction. There was an introduction, but man, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell me about you.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, Alex. So my name's Anthony Hudson. I am a performance coach. A lot of people put us in the category of life coach, right? Which is I suppose a little bit accurate, but I don't love that term because I want to help people transform. I want to help people perform to their most elite version of themselves in all areas of life. A lot of us do really, really well in a couple categories. As men and providers and protectors, we always focus on business, right? We always focus on the finances component. And while that is definitely a part of what we're put on this earth to do, it's not the only part, right? So I want to help everybody I come in contact with leave more confident, right? So the name of my coaching program is called Confident, the code to living a life on fire. And a lot of people are bored. They don't have the energy, or they're doing decent in one area, again, like finances, for example, especially men. But maybe they're not showing up at home, and maybe they've let their fitness slide, and maybe the passion in the relationship has gone away because they haven't focused on it. Like, you have to continue to date your wife and your spouse even after you get married, right? That's not an excuse to just coexist in the home. So we work on all those things. I work with men, entrepreneurs, business owners, high level executives, family men that are looking to take back control of their life and live that life on fire. So that's really what I do. I'm also in the franchising business. I work and help other people invest in different business models in the franchising industry, right? So investing in a playbook and a process and systems to not necessarily have to start from scratch if you don't want to, and have a startup company. Some people want that, and that's totally fine. Some people want to invest in a business as an investment, not as somebody that works on the day-to-day operations, works in the business, working on the business rather in the business, right? So those are the two main things I do. They coexist really well. Really, ultimately, I just found out from an early age that we can control and live a life of meaning and passion and all those things that you said. And I feel like the 5 pillars, the main categories, are faith, family, fitness, finances, and having a lot of fun. And I'll tell you, no coaches are talking about having fun, right? That's not what they talk about. They talk about grinding and hustling and maybe having a passion, but you need to have a reward system. You need to know that at the end of the day, after you've knocked out your 4 pillars, you've got to go and have fun and do the things that were put on this earth to enjoy as well, right? Fall in love with the process and enjoy every single day. Otherwise, if you're always looking for that finish line, then once you get it, then you realize, I'm here, now what? Right. So it's falling in love with the journey and the process and not always focusing on that finish line, because there's no, finish line to success. There's no finish line to fitness. Right. So anyways, that was a long-winded answer, but that's kind of who I am and what I do.
Cool, man. I love it. So, man, it was such a game changer once I started having fun and once I started focusing on the process and who I was becoming with the process. Than just like being, focused on why I didn't have the result, why I wasn't where I wanted to be.
Yes, sir.
Like, it's been such a game changer, man. I'm having so much fun. I feel so happy and fulfilled, right? I feel so like my capacity to feel love, fun, abundance, joy, and success has expanded, right? Just because I allowed myself to enjoy the process and have fun. So that's totally right, man. So, man.
Yeah.
So you said that from a very early age, you learned that, you could basically have it all. So, like, what was that early age and how did you come across, this breakthrough?
Yeah. So I watched my dad growing up. So I grew up a small town farm kid. I live in Omaha, Nebraska now. I grew up in a town of about 500 people, and I watched my dad work his tail off and consistently up 5 every morning. Probably a workaholic if there's a such thing as one, but he enjoyed it too, and that was the cool part. Is I think it's the best of both worlds when you can find something you love to do and also make great money doing it, right? And that's finding your passion and your purpose. And he knew, and I watched him at a very early age. They were young when they had me, 20 and 19 as well. My parents, who are still together today. I watched him do something he enjoyed, but also work very hard at it and know that it was all going to be worth it, kind of a thing. So hard work, dedication, doing the difficult stuff. Like farming is very labor intensive. It's a very dangerous job. It's also very rewarding, fulfilling, and it's something different every single day. So those are some things that I learned very early on, that like, I don't want to do the same thing every single day. I want life to be exciting and adventurous. Now, that being said, I also watched his routine. He's very routine oriented. Like, he got up early, did all the same things in the morning, and then the same thing before bed every single night. He followed it to a T. So in order to have excitement in life, sometimes we also have to be very routine and regimented, especially to start our day and to end our day, so that in the middle of the day, we can do the fun and exciting things. And when life throws us curveballs, we've got the bandwidth and the decision-making power to tackle some things that we weren't expecting, right? So that's where that routine and those habits and that structure comes into play, especially in the morning and then at night.
So you grew up watching him being consistent, disciplined, and focused.
Yep.
From a very 100%. Early age.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. So, man, how old are you, man? Because I've seen your, some of your videos, and you're fucking jacked and ripped, and you're just like on fire, right?
I've got you by about 20 years, sir. You said you're 21. I'm actually 40.
Damn, man. I want to look like you when I'm 40, right? Like, I used to think that,
I appreciate that.
When you're 40, you're done, right? And that's just because of my environment, right? Like, all the people that I'm surrounded with, that I had been surrounded with that are 40, are pretty defeated. And that's why I used to think that when you're 40, like, that's it, you're done. But like now, my circle of influence, my circle of, has changed. The people that I surround myself with. And like, I look at you being 41, killing the game, feeling like you're barely getting started. Holy shit, man. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you should. And here's the thing, Alex, age is just a number, right? We totally think we have to let that number define us. And in reality, it's just a number, right? I might, when people ask me how old I am, I don't always answer them right away. It's old enough, or how as old as I feel. Like, it doesn't, the age, I don't like putting a number on it, because that automatically categorizes you, or people automatically say, oh, he's.
Hey, sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to tell you that this podcast has completely changed my life in ways that you could never imagine, and I would like the same for you. Look, You are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with, and the fastest way for you to level yourself up in every area of your life is for you to connect with people who are where you want to be, build relationships with them, and connect with them. The best way for you to do that right now in the digital age is for you to start your own podcast. And I just wanted to let you know that I have a free training that you can get free access to. It's called the 30-day Net Worth Skyrocketing 3-step podcast cloak track framework, and it's going to show you how you can start and automate everything in your podcast, from finding your ideal guest, getting them on an interview with you, and creating an automated content machine in just 30 days. By executing on this free training, you're going to be able to connect with high-level people, no matter how rich, famous, or out of your league they may seem, in just 30 days with less than 1 to 2 hours per week, so that you can increase your net worth, your authority, your trust, your client acquisition ability, and your opportunity. So there's a special link for this free training in the description of this video. Thank you for watching and tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this episode. Bye-bye.
He's over the hill now, or he's on the down. No, I'm just getting started, right?
Yeah.
I got some of the knowledge that I didn't have when I was 25, but I still, for the most part, feel not every day, but I feel 25 for the most part. So that's the good part. And I like to have fun like I'm 25 too. So some of the knowledge and experiences from being 40, but also the energy and enthusiasm of a 25-year-old, right? So it doesn't have to define you. People put too much on, testosterone goes down after you hit a 30, and then, you're going to lose muscle mass, and you got to work so much harder in the gym, and you got to eat all perfectly, or else, and all these things. No, it doesn't have to be. Life can be however you want it to be, whatever you choose. It's all about your decisions, right? And it's all about making decisions for the 6 month. It's not making these decisions based on your immediate self. It's who you want to be 6 months from now. I'm always chasing that 6 months from now version of me, right? So every decision that gets made, when every decision comes across your way, you got to be thinking of the Alex or Anthony in 6 months. Like, what does that look like? If I eat this cookie now, and I continue to do that, how's that going to change me in 6 months? Because I won't notice it now. It feels good now. The bad habits, they feel good now. We get the dopamine from them now, but the actual benefit comes 6 months from now when we do the discipline and form the good habits. So,
and for that, you got to decide once, right? I really like a video from Kobe Bryant, which he says, you got to decide once, right? You got to decide, like, how is it that you want to look, and you got to decide what are the action steps that you got to take in order to look that way, and then show up for those action steps every single day, no matter how you feel, right? Like, you decided that you were going to do this, so now you got to do it, right, man? I really like a saying by a very wise man that is actually my coach. This guy is a 7-figure coach that I have, and he says, I'm 45, right? I'm 45. I feel I have the energy and feel like a 25-year-old. I have fun like a kid, like a 10-year-old, but I have the wisdom of a 80-year-old.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, man.
Love it.
So man, one thing that I'm very curious about is on your profile you have Apex and Lions Den.
Yeah.
What is that about?
Yeah, those are mastermind groups. You talk about surrounding yourself with like-minded people and people that are leveling up and that are successful, right? So I learned about 5 years ago that in order to improve, you've got to get in rooms with more successful people, right? So you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around most, right? So if you hang around with 5 nobodies or 5 people struggling in life, you'll be the 6th. If you hang around 5 millionaires or billionaires, you'll be the 6th, right? So it takes time and commitment and energy and so on and so forth, right? But I want to learn from people that are doing better than me. I want to be the dumbest person in the room, we'll call it, right? So so that's been a huge, personal development. About 5 years ago, I started that process and that journey, and I looked at it. Most people look at investing in themselves as an expense, right? Instead of an actual investment, right? That's the mindset shift that we have to look at. Hey, what's going to be the ROI investing in this group and being around these people that are growing and successful? So Apex is probably the #1 world's best mastermind in the world. If I'm a little biased, I've been in that group for about 4 years, but it continues to grow and expand and excel. So I'm actually a coach in that group as well. And then Lions Den is another mastermind or coaching group, self-development group that I'm a part of. So just groups of people that are businessmen and women that want to become the most elite version of themselves, have extreme confidence, and grow and continue to excel. That's it.
Man, if
Two
you've been
groups.
on Ryan's airplane,
Yeah.
then you're definitely biased.
I have, and you're right, I am. But I was biased before that happened, right? So I've been biased for a long time, in a good way, because it's tremendous. It helped me in all areas, all those 5 F's I talk about, every single area. It's not just about business and finances. It's about your relationships. It's about your fitness. It's about your mindset, and it's
It's about
about
having it all.
yeah,
Yeah,
life
man.
on fire. Yep.
And surrounding yourself with the high level people. This is why I started my podcast, to start
Yeah.
relationships like the one that I'm starting with you, right? And like it's brought amazing opportunities. Like since I started my entrepreneurial journey, I always heard this high level entrepreneurs like Gary Vee and Grant Cardone and people like them saying, focus on the relationships, right? Don't chase the money, chase the opportunity, focus on relationships. And like normally we entrepreneurs don't listen because we're just like so focused on, like the immediate gratification, I can say.
Yeah.
But when I actually started focusing on relationships, man, opportunities that are out of this world started to come to me, right? So yeah, like if you're listening to this and you are an entrepreneur and you feel stuck or you feel like you want to hit that next level,
Yep.
the fastest way that you can do that is by changing your environment and changing the people that you surround yourself with.
That's right.
So
100%.
yeah, man. And cool. Let's see. So I asked you that. So man, let's see. What can I ask you? I don't know, man. Go ahead and say something.
No. I think to your point, and I appreciate you having me on. I think again, it's the hardest part is not every day is going to be all sunshine and rainbows, right? So we need to learn to something that I've learned recently or had to relearn is um, happiness doesn't come from outside sources; it comes internally, right? So a big lesson that I'm relearning and reevaluating, and we're gonna relearn lessons. That's the crazy part. Is I have to be happy with who I am. You have to take care of myself first in order to better take care of others. So it's the old you've got to be selfish in order to be selfless, right? So that's something that everybody struggles with, parents especially, thinking they got to take care of their spouse, their family, things like that, and absolutely, but they delay their taking care of themselves till the end of the day or till the end of the week, like and what happens then is they run out of they run out of energy, their mindset gets off, their excitement and happiness, it all goes out the window. So I think a big thing that people need to realize is you've got to invest in yourself first. That's why I'm big on working out in the morning. So I tell everybody you need to every morning, a good routine to follow is do something that warms you up, right? That heats you up. So that's a workout. I say sweat before the sun. Do something that cools you down. So a cold shower is really gratifying, great feeling, but it's also great for your body. It's great recovery. Do something that grows your mind, right? So listening to a podcast, reading a book, doing something like this that is going to extend your knowledge and help you grow. And then do something that feeds your soul, meaning give back gratitude, whatever you believe in. Do something that reach out to somebody and tell them you're grateful for them. Write down 5 things you're grateful for, those kind of things. So having a routine in the morning like that's going to set your day up for extreme success, right? So that's the key. And I think that's part of if you guys, if people can do anything, anybody listening to this, it's have a routine that hits on those 4 areas in the morning, and then everything else is just
It's a
it'll be
win.
set up for you.
It's an
Yep,
extra.
it'll be set up for success. Yep.
Man, so damn, man, I'm actually so excited because I'm actually going down the right path. Woke up at 4 a.m.
There you go.
You want to know what the first thought in my mind was as soon as I woke up?
Yeah. What's that?
It was, thank you, God, for another amazing day.
That's right.
Man, like every single day, as soon as I open my eyes, so like my alarm is on the other side of the room, so like I have to get up, and as soon as my alarm goes off and I get up, that is the first thought that comes to my mind,
Yeah.
man. it's great. Like I literally, I don't know how I accomplished that, but yeah, being grateful for another day. So like that was the first thought that came to my mind. And then, you know, I went and washed my face, brushed my teeth, and then I meditated, and then
Perfect.
sat down and started journaling, right? Giving gratitude to God,
Yep.
asking him for wisdom and for discernment, for to be able to like take the right decisions to get to where I want to go. Well, not faster, but like in a more effective way, right? Without having
Yeah.
to like suffer so much and stuff. And then I wrote 3 things that I'm grateful about, which is the sex that I had the night before with my wife, about witnessing myself breaking unconscious and self-imposed limits. Like I'm literally witnessing myself breaking my limits, man. About on like how much success and love I can feel, right? Because I used to have a good time with my wife or whatever, and then fuck myself over and start a fight or something, right? Go back to like the the thermostat, you know, the
Yep.
amount of love that I thought that I deserved. And then another thing that I was grateful for was the 2 interviews that I had today, which is you, and then have Lee Barber as well on my podcast
Awesome.
right now later today. So started my day with that, right? Hitting one of those 4 core areas.
Good.
Then after that, I read a book. I read a marketing book. Then after that, I went to the gym, and then after my routine, I have a trash can, a big trash can full of water and ice, and I went into it
Bingo.
for like 7 minutes, and then I came here. So man, it's
You hit
barely
them
8
all.
a.m.
You hit
man.
them all. Yep. You
It's
hit them all.
barely 8 a.m. man.
That's great.
Right?
Get done.
Cool.
Yep. And that's the structure and routine, and keeping that up, right? And there's going to be days where it doesn't work, but that's the key, is when you fall off, you got to get right back on the horse, right? Don't have 2 bad days in a row, right? That's all up here. That's all up here. You maybe are going to have a bad day every once in a while, but you know that if you fall back on those habits and rituals, that the next day will be good again. So
Missing one day is good, but then if you miss 2, you know, it starts to become a habit.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
Cool. So man, we're getting to the end. So
Yes, sir.
I just wanna, like I always end this episode, you know, like my podcast episodes, with a couple of questions, with 5 questions actually. So can I go ahead and ask you the first one?
Yeah. Let's go quick.
Let's see. What is a mindset shift, a breakthrough that you made that has allowed you to like get to where you are in life?
Yeah, I think it goes back to, it's an easy one, but it's also more in depth. It's gratitude, but it's gratitude with intent, right? So it's not just waking up and writing down 5 things you're grateful for. It's writing down 5 things you're grateful for and why you're grateful for them. So if you're grateful for your wife, it's because she wakes up every day. She always puts a great meal in front of for dinner for us. She always takes the kids, handles everything at home, so I can handle everything at work and not have to worry about it, right? So having gratitude with intent is a huge one.
Awesome. Awesome. The second one, man, is mindset map. So what do you use to like have clarity of who you are, what you want, where you're going?
Yeah. So in my coaching group, and what I do is I've got a form, and like an onboarding form, where I write down what I want, right? And we reevaluate that every month. So most people, if you were to ask them what it is that you truly want, they probably can't answer that question, right? So what do you want, and who do I have to become in order to get that, right? So those are questions I ask myself consistently. And the more you do that, the more clarity you're going to get. But you got to write it down, and you got to keep it in front of you, top of mind.
Awesome. So man, apart from working out,
Yeah.
you know, like gratitude and like all of the things that you do for those core 4 areas and fun, what is a habit that has like contributed to your success?
Constant learning, continuing to grow, actually connecting through relationships. That's the number one by far. So being a part of things like Apex and Lines, and you asked me about earlier, having conversations, getting on podcasts, learning from other people, having conversations, continue to do that. It's my goal to talk to at least 2 new people in either some of my mindset or mastermind groups, or 2 new people that are growing, that I feel like are positive, that would benefit from both of us having a conversation.
Awesome. So the last one, man, is about tracking. So what areas of your life you track? You know, you talk about family, faith, family, fitness, focus, finance,
Finances
and
and fun.
yeah.
Yeah. All of them.
Awesome.
And I do it, and we do it daily. And my coaching clients, they fill out a tracker weekly ahead of time, and they plan out their entire week on those 5 categories. So Sunday through Saturday, they plan that out, they send it in, and then we hold them accountable to that.
Awesome,
right?
man.
So yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So I like it, man. So man, if it was a short episode, nice and sweet. So if I want to know more about you, right? If I want to gain some confidence and live a life, building life on fire, where can I find more? Where can I find you, man?
Yep. So my website is createyourconfident.com. So it's create, not confidence, createyourconfident.com. That's talks about coaching program, my brand, some apparel, things like that, podcasts, all that good stuff. That's the main website. All the social media sites, it's just my name, Anthony Hudson. So Instagram, Facebook are probably the most popular. I'm also on LinkedIn as well. But yeah, it's just Anthony Hudson. You can find me. Those are all my handles. You'll be able to search me
Awesome,
that way.
We're gonna put them on all of the description of wherever this episode comes on. And man, thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate you. I really enjoyed getting to know you. And yeah, man,
we'll do it again
next time.
We'll do it again, Alex. Appreciate you, man.
Awesome, man.
Take care.
Thank you for watching the Gentleman's Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with one friend, leave us a comment, and let us know. 99% of people never leave a review or comment, but we love and are very thankful with the 1% of you who do. If there's something or someone you want to see on this podcast, send me a message on Instagram at Alex_Ramirez1020 and let me know. As a thank you for that, I have an amazing surprise for each and every one of you who does take the time to leave us a comment or review on YouTube or one of the major podcasting platforms